Red alert, red alert, red alert. Attention all ambitious property sales professionals, this handpicked news is exclusive for sales personnel like yourself. Okay, the purpose of this newsletter is to keep you up to date on housing situation in Malaysia. We hope this news can make you to be a professional salesperson. Okay, without further ado, let's dig deep into the core of this property news. Alright, thanks. Here goes. Breaking news. Affordable housing market still resilient. Recent headwinds like supply chain disruptions, soaring building material costs, and prevailing inflationary pressure could have dampened the country's housing affordability, thereby threatening property market recovery. Despite the general perception that affordable housing may likely match the mass demands in the current market conditions, and indeed, supply adjustments have seen with more new launches shifting towards lower and middle price market segments, sales of affordable houses in 2021 have shown signs of weakening, with 31% or 11,610 overhang units, 41% or 29,083 unsold units under construction, and 44% or 9,641 unsold units for constructed yet that attributed to houses priced below Rm 300,000. It is obvious that affordable housing market segment is not as robust and resilient as one perceived. Meanwhile, a study on the unit size of high-rise new launches in prime markets since 2022 finds that 60% of these products are at least 800 sq and above chart. This implies that small units at lower absolute selling prices, which were once introduced to meet the affordability of mass buyers, are less favorable in today's market. Since most financial institutions continue to take a prudent approach in approving loan applications, and the pool of effective demand is expected to increase slightly, or at worst, to decrease, it is necessary for developers to be aware of the changing housing preferences. Eligible buyers, especially owner-occupiers, have become more selective in their property search during the softening market. They will not simply compromise on smaller in space and less appealing, evident for cheaper or affordable prices, as housing preferences are no longer limited to location and accessibility, which used to be the main selling points of small units, but also encompass the availability of space that can accommodate more functions and services. Likewise, upsizing buyers are even more discerning in terms of space and living environment when selecting their next home. Not only are they more cautious about buying less desirable homes such as properties in a poor location or smaller homes that are unfit with their growing family size, but they are also less compromising on poor neighborhood that can affect their quality of life in the long run. In terms of investors, their demand for property is largely driven by the current economic front and a series of factors relating to their investment plans such as expected capital gains, interest rates, cash flow, and the performance of equity markets. Given the low rental yields and slow house price growth that signal a transition of the country's housing market towards a less attractive property investment environment, investors may be considering delaying their investment expansion for now. As a result, sales for those smaller units that were once their top priority of investment studio, Soho, one-bedroom units are expected to cool down further. Realizing the current market is likely to be led by those rational demands emphasizing on own stay and self-occupied lifestyle living and upgrading, as well as higher quality consumption and wellness, developers should avoid over-focusing on affordability when positioning their products in the market. This is because, in pursuit of affordability, developers may tend to cut costs and downsize unit, resulting in a drop in product quality from all aspects: design, aesthetics, landscape. Rather than pricing, a sense of value creation that derived from the premium living environment is more likely to resonate with today's home buyers. After all, it is not price, but quality, that will be the pulling factor for recurring property demand, in one way or another. Agree or not? By the way, this newsletter is an eye-opener for you and me as concerned sales individuals. In fact, the searching question of whether affordable housing market is still resilient does remind us to think and act positively as responsible sales professionals. Agree or not? You bet. To conclude this newsletter is best to repeat the salient points in a nutshell. Make no mistakes, the uncertainty of affordable housing market cannot be finally decided. As mentioned, there are serious factors of transport chain disruption, the hovering constructing of materials costs, and the serious inflationary issues. Believe me, This scenario would have dampened the country's aim of ensuring housing affordability. As a result, there may be also the inability of assets recovery. Logical? You can bet your last dollar or rig it on this. Now that we have witnessed the volatility of the real estate market, we then, as a professional salesperson, we must contribute any way we can to ensure the success of making affordable housing in Malaysia. Period. To end the bulletin, allow me to quote the words of Donald Trump. He is the 45th President of the United States of America. He says, "It's tangible, it's solid, it's beautiful, it's artistic, from my standpoint, and I just love real estate." With that said, I will gladly end this real estate newsletter. Alright, thanks. Source: extracted and modified from printed media. PS. Come to think of it, we know if it is a lengthy newsletter, yet we want to congratulate you for watching and reading this newsletter completely. Additionally, we are eager to know which part of this sales and marketing bulletin you learned most. Your feedbacks are critical so that we can help each other grow effectively. Lest you forget, these writings will continue on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course in our author, trainer, and consultant's email, joseph@gmail.com, upon request. Alright, thank you. We hope to meet you in the next week's bulletin. Goodbye and happy reading. Yours truly, Madam Sophia, virtual presenter for CTM Joseph SFNG, June 20, 2022.